Well, I don't know if you can tell, but it has snowed a little bit since the last video. I had a terrible time getting here, even with the four-wheel drive. This doesn't have a limited slip, so that's bad. The Maverick is over there. So in today's video, I guess, I'm going to try to remove the starter. Or first I'm going to try to just put a good battery in it, because some of the commenters told me that on the last one. So I guess I'm going to try to drive this back there, or I might jump that and drive it back there, because that has a limited slip, which is kind of nice. Or I could just, you know, bring the tools back there and walk. That's not that big of a deal either. So here's the plan. We're going to use that to jump this. We're going to put all the junk in this, drive it back over there to the Maverick, because I don't want to get that stuck, because it's my way back home. I can't take this. It's not good enough yet. So yeah, we're gonna do a really cold start on that one. To make matters worse, for whatever reason, this truck's kickdown cable seems to be stuck, which is strange, but it makes it so I can't rev it very fast at all. Anyway, 360 cold start, here we go. Pristine. I think I can see out that, maybe. All right, we're loaded up. Visibility is limited, but it'll be okay. Just about ran over that trash can from that caravan video. This thing's a little awkward to drive always. It's very awkward to drive when you can't see where you're going. Here's first. It's also bad when you have very limited power steering. Made it. It's still on fast idle. We'll let it stay there a second. Now that we're like 5 minutes into this Maverick video, we see the Maverick again. Finally went back down to idle. I don't know why it takes so long for it to do so, but it just really doesn't like cold weather, I guess. So gotta get that out still. I don't know if I said it already, but the plan here is to try that other battery. That's the battery that's hopefully this thing. Let's see, does it restart? Okay. We'll try that battery, and if that doesn't work, I'm going to pull the starter off, and we'll start her off, and we'll look at it. So, yeah. Okay. This should be a good battery. see if it does anything. There. Battery's connected. That's a good indicator. I don't think it's in gear, but it seems to be doing the same thing. Oh, there's the hazards. Ah. Anyway, yeah, doesn't seem like we're getting anything different than before. We're just getting, excuse me, a short. I was just sitting here flicking it back and forth, and I think I heard it turn for just a brief second, so I'm gonna put this somewhere where you can see, and maybe we got something. So what does that mean? Was that battery doing that? I guess. Causing the short? It kind of seemed shorted with that battery too, and it just got, maybe it was the key switch. Because I just sat there for about 10 seconds flipping it back and forth, and that's how we got to what just happened. So there went a mouse that just ran out of it into the snow. So I guess the snow's not as bad back here as I thought it was. So I might try taking that back and bringing the white truck over here. And then we can jump it again. And maybe it'll, because obviously it wasn't turning over fast enough. This battery might be a little low too because of how cold it is. And it wasn't in anything running for about 2 weeks or so. So, well, it's still run. Don't hit the neon. I think the white truck will get back here. If it gets stuck, we'll just have to tow it out with this thing, which isn't so bad either. It'd be really cool if I could see. How some guys can drive a manual and film at the same time. It is very difficult for me. All right, sleep. Rule number 1 of owning an old Mopar is A, keep a spare voltage regulator, and B, disconnect your battery when you're not using it so it doesn't catch on fire. This thing ever get over its... There we go. Now we got full throttle. I just destroyed the kickdown. That's possible too. Leave it running. All right, we should be ready. Contact. We had it briefly. So, it stopped turning over. I don't know why. It's definitely tight. It probably would be a good idea to pull the plugs out. Spin it over that way. I'll give you one guess as to where the spark plug socket is. If you guessed caravan, you're right. There's the moon. Oh no. Guess where I left the socket. That's gonna be fun. This thing is all covered in sticky stuff that I guess was on my hand. I bet it's from that steering wheel. Anyway, I've retrieved the spark plug socket. So now we can pull the plugs and try to make it crank a little faster. And I guess I'll check for spark while I'm doing it, but I seriously doubt it's got any. And of course that means filing the points, which isn't a big deal, but I don't really want to do that today because of course it's almost dark and it's very snowy and very cold. So I'm a complete idiot when it comes to ignition systems. So this is the order of the wires, okay? The first plug was very tight, and this one is the same. Let's see. There. One guy said on that Maverick video that I waste a lot of time, and I think that is a very valid criticism, but I'm not gonna stop wasting time. That's my favorite thing to do. Okay, there's number 2. They both look kind of fouled, which is unsurprising. I will do number 3. All of the wires have been on pretty tight too. Oh, okay, that one wasn't. Yep, that one's super tight. I'm putting the plug wires back into the spark plug holes so I can kind of see, give me a slightly better chance of not putting them back in the wrong place. That one's the least foul looking of the ones I've gotten out so far. Oh. I'll spare you the last two. I won't make you watch that. Okay, all 6 plugs are out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I got the plug wire sitting in the holes, and they'll probably blow out as soon as I crank it over, but oh well. So we'll see if it turns over a little quicker now that it has no compression, and then we'll see if it has spark. Huh. Doesn't seem like a very healthy starter, does it? All right, let's see if we have any spark. I kind of wonder if that pump's working, because it kind of smells like old gas now. You can't see it from there. Right there. All right, tell me if you see anything. So no spark, that makes a lot of sense. We'll have to file the points next time. But look what started working. Isn't that neat? So I'm gonna throw those plugs back in so that snow and water doesn't get in the cylinders, but yeah. And one more thing while I'm thinking about it. The first Maverick video was the biggest video on my channel up to this point. It got like 12,000 views, which isn't that many, but it's a lot for me. And yet not a single person commented what this was. This is a wheel off a rotary hoe. It's a new day and the snow is slowly melting. I don't know if you can hear that dripping off the roof up there. But anyway, I noticed while editing the last day I was here that this was sparking quite a bit, so I don't think I got this totally tight. I also see that this ground cable isn't the best, so that could be, well, it's really not the best. That could be a factor. But I think before I focus camera there, before I start trying to file the points, I'm gonna take the air cleaner off and undo the fuel pump, because I said yesterday it smelled like old gas, so I think that pump is working. That's not the pump, that's the pump. So I'm gonna undo that fuel line so we're not putting ancient fuel into the carburetor. How much coolant do we have? I don't think I ever checked. I don't think any. This is nice. Dig my fingers into that. Probably would have been smart to kind of take this off and make sure it's not full of stuff. So it's definitely a 1 barrel. Remanufactured. Okay, so this has not been parked since 1989 because it was remanufactured in 2001. So it's also a Carter, I see. So that's good, I guess. There's the throttle linkage down here, which is stuck. I'll have to work on that. Electric choke. Yeah, I'll pull off that fuel line and then maybe I'll spray some PB Blaster on this linkage and see if that gets us anywhere. I'm not totally sure how this pedal operates, where it connects to the cable. Can you see up in there? Oh, okay. It doesn't feel like it's doing much of anything. I'm gonna delete this seat cover. It's not doing much for us anymore. It's not the... This would be the original seat, obviously. Okay, I'll leave that portion. So I gotta figure out, that cable's probably broke off on the end, I bet. So I got the throttle moving relatively freely. I had to disconnect it from the cable. It's still not right, but we're getting there. It's close enough now that I can get it. Choke moves. I'll probably have to cut, well, I guess I can just unscrew that or unbolt that, can't I? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to mess with that throttle cable a little bit. I don't really know what's going on with it. The pedal feels like it's, when I reach up under there, I can feel the cable is attached, but it doesn't seem to do anything. So figure that out. What else? I'll turn the key on at some point. I'll turn the key on and we'll see if we're getting power to the coil. Then I'll pull the cap off and we'll do the points thing. Got the carburetor unhooked. So this ground cable, I think, could have been causing a little bit of our slow and intermittent cranking issue. But this is the positive, or what we've been using as the positive battery cable on the tractor, and it's the cheapest cable of all time. And the tractor is a diesel, and when it's cold, you have to crank it for a while, and this cable can't handle it. So I took it off, and I'm going to get a new one for it, a actually decent cable. But I think for here, it'll be a fine ground cable. So I'm going to switch that over real quick, and then I'll put the battery in and we'll try to crank it again. Obviously, this cable is way too long, but it'll work for now. So it still cranks fine, better now with that it has that new cable, but still kind of slow. So we might have to pull that starter off, and I'm wondering if the Bendix is stuck out, so it doesn't get, doesn't have any momentum. I pulled the cap off, and it looks not terrible down in there. The cap looks okay-ish. The key is on, so we'll see if I move the points, if it sparks at all. Oh, well, when I was doing it before off camera, it wasn't doing anything, but now that I'm doing it now, hear it and see it. So I hooked it up to that truck again, and I started cranking it, and it still wasn't any better. And I was thinking, this is getting ridiculous. It must be the starter. And then I pushed down on the clutch, and it stays there, of course. And now it cranks like this. A lot better. So I don't know what that means, but let's check for spark now that we know we've got it at least at the points.
See? You see? Oh, you don't see it? He moves right there!
As you can see, I think we have spark. So I got some Super Tech carburetor and air intake cleaner, which I'm going to try to dump down the carburetor, and maybe we'll get a little bit of life. Maybe. We gotta pop. Give the starter a break. I got the throttle jammed slightly open, so got a little bit of gas in this can. I'm gonna try to dump down there, and I think I'm gonna try to jump the solenoid so I can mess with the carburetor while it's briefly running, because if I use the key then I'll be in there and I can't, you know what I mean. So I'm gonna try that. All right, contact. I guess it wants the choke. Ooh, that starter sounds very, very unhappy. We got a lot of interesting smells going on right now. I don't think it's gonna want to idle, which is what it's now returned to. I guess I shouldn't have freed up this linkage, because now it wants to. Maybe it'll idle, but I doubt it. now dumped gas over the entire motor, so hopefully it doesn't catch fire. But let's try it again. Sometime. It's close. Well, the solenoid seems to have died again. So I'm gonna pull that wire back off and put it straight to the positive. And I think it should still have spark that way. Where'd it go? There. Contact. It's back to this. So the people that said the starter wasn't shorted when it was doing that in the last video, I have this clip on positive and this clip on the starter wire, and that's a ground right now. So yeah, that starter is indeed shorted, but I guess it can get over it sometimes. And on that terrible disappointment, I think I'm gonna end this video here. I've been sitting here for a while trying to get that solenoid, well, the starter, I guess, both, whatever, trying to get it to stop being shorted, and I can't. I've hit it. I don't have a hammer with me. I hit it with a crowbar a few times. That didn't seem to do anything. So I'm probably gonna pull this starter off then, I guess. That'll probably be in the next video. So anyway, we're really close to getting this running. I think it's a long ways from driving because I don't know what's going on with the clutch and the shifter, but it almost runs. So I'll see you guys in the next one, hopefully, and thanks for watching. Post-credit scene. I got the starter off and it just sparks. So I'm gonna say we do have a bad starter. If not before, definitely now. Although it was remanufactured. So that's the real end of the video.